Alamogordo News here on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero. When it comes to news, weather always comes first. A series of winter storms are going to impact the Midwest to Mid-Atlantic and northeastern U.S. into next week with locally heavy rain and a combination of snow, sleet, and freezing rain. Pacific storms will continue to bring strong winds, heavy rain with a risk for flooding to northern and central California, heavy mountain snow in the Sierras, southern Cascades, and northern Rockies through tomorrow. Closer to home, very warm and dry conditions continue through the weekend. Daily high temperatures at or above records with daily maximum temperatures 13 to 18 degrees above average. That's going to lead to elevated fire weather concerns across the area through the weekend due to dry fuels, critically dry conditions, and well above normal heat, as well as marginally breezy afternoons. Overall conditions will still fall short of critical levels. However, on Monday and Tuesday, we expect some stronger winds, which could increase fire weather conditions to critical. We'll have another look at the weather following this news. This Saturday, at the Sergeant Willie Estrada Civic Center, is the second annual Heroes and Guardians Dance. Children ages 4 to 10 with an adult come dressed as your favorite hero, $5 for 2 people, and that's this Saturday from noon until 3. Volunteer orientation is happening at Alameda Park Zoo this Saturday from 10 until 11:30 at the Education Center. Learn about exciting opportunities such as animal enrichment and other tasks. See the City of Alamogordo Facebook page for details. The Alamo Senior Center presents the Valentine's Dinner and Dance happening Thursday, February 13th. Music by Bo Rivers. Meal will be served from 2 until 3, featuring steak fillet, shrimp skewers, and red velvet cake. Dancing from 3 until 5. Cost is $15 a head. You can get your tickets at the front office or the day of the event. People are joining up to talk about the possibility of opening up a Christian school in Chaparral. I spoke to Robert Gable about this.
Looking at it as just a thought or idea and everything. We wanted to run by just to look into the ideas or thoughts of having a Christian school in Chaparral. We're just running that by, figure out what we could do. We're going to have John Foreman. He's a consultant, and he comes out of Las Cruces. He used to principal for over 20 years at Mesilla Valley Christian School, and he's a consultant, and he wants to come by. He'll give us a few words about letting us know, what will work, what won't work, what's good, what's bad, and everything like that. We're going to have a nice big Q&A session during that time.
That's happening this Saturday at 10 a.m. at the Blended Nation Fellowship, 498 McCombs in Chaparral. Guest speaker John Foreman. Kelly Knight from the Otero County Extension Office told me about an upcoming class that may be of use to you or a loved one.
On Thursday mornings in February, we're going to be hosting a program. It's called On the Road to Living Well with Diabetes. It's a total of 5 sessions. And it's all about how to help individuals who have diabetes reduce their complications of diabetes. And so we'll be covering different topics and providing participants with different tools to help them prevent those complications.
575-437-0231 for details. Well, today is Thursday. It's time for a Thursday Thought with my good friend, Pastor Lauren Noble.
Good morning, 95.1 listeners. This is Pastor Lauren with our Thursday Thought. Last week was a reminder for me of exactly how short life really is. I had talked to one of my cousins on Facebook on Thursday night. And Friday night, one of my other cousins called and said, well, she's dead. And I'm like, no, that can't be. I was just talking to her last night. I think about that. She's only like 4 months older than me. So basically, we were the same age and knew each other since childhood. And it's like, life is just really short because she didn't have any medical issues they knew of. She just didn't wake up in the morning. And so it kind of took me a little bit by surprise, I guess you could say. Well, not a little bit. It did take me by surprise. But it reminds me of, making the best of life while we're here, because each day we could be our very last day and we don't even know it. So it's just a good reminder for me and perhaps for all of us to live each day to the fullest and to always tell people, the family and loved ones and that you love them, or, hey, I'll talk to you later or something, because it might be the last time you ever have opportunity. And we need to be mindful of that life is very short. Let me say a prayer for us. Lord, I do pray that we will be reminded that life is very short and we're here and gone in an instant. And what a tragedy that is, because, we always count on having one more time or one more goodbye or I'll talk to you later. Sometimes that's not always the truth, so help us to be mindful of reaching out to people and to taking care of them and speaking to them and doing whatever we can to be with them when they need us. And Father, it's just sometimes death comes as a surprise, but that's life, death. Anyway, I just pray that people will be mindful of their loved ones and those around them. Amen. Till we meet up again down there, race blessings to you.
News from around the state in just a moment. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
Hi, Sunny Harris, inviting you to join Animal Village NM's Thank You in Advance fundraiser and help us reach our goal of $25,000 by February 29th. Your support will fund spay-neuter surgeries for more than 200 pets and provide essential pet food for families in need. Drop off gently worn shoes at our collection boxes or donate online at animalvillagenm.org. By mail, 303 Spring Road, Ruidoso, 88345. Thank you in advance for your generosity. animalvillagenm.org.
Local news from local perspectives, from local voices. AlamogordoTownNews.org. Local sports, local events, and local happenings and more. Nonprofit owned and operated by Second Life Media. We are Otero County. AlamogordoTownNews.org. Heard daily on Crazy KALH Radio 95.1.
Directory Plus is the right size book. It's the book if you need a phone book.
That's what just one person has to say about Directory Plus. With its red cover, features, colorful yellow pages, and lots more, it's no wonder people all over use Directory Plus.
It has so much more information. You can cross-check phone numbers or addresses or pretty much anything.
Look on the plus side, Directory Plus.
I'm a big fan of Directory Plus.
While investigating a stabbing that killed 26-year-old Lawrence Patrick Rubio, Las Cruces police arrested 31-year-old James Michael Melendrez and charged him with an open count of murder in connection with the fatal stabbing. Officials are currently holding Melendrez without bond at the Donna Ana County Detention Center. Amber Leanne Martinez of Las Cruces has been charged with a third-degree felony for child abuse when it was discovered that her 8-month-old child tested positive for cocaine. The infant was experiencing a high fever and seizures when taken to the hospital by her grandmother, Cecilia Rosales. Martinez arrived at the hospital later that day after claiming she had been working when she received a phone call that the child was being transported to the hospital. When Martinez arrived at the hospital, the 8-month-old had been seen by doctors in the emergency room. Martinez did not believe the child had been exposed to the drug at home, but instead exposed at a house she regularly cleans for work. The child's symptoms shown during the hospital visit were not consistent with an overdose due to a recent exposure. Hospital staff also explained that the test did not show the amount of cocaine exposure, but instead only determined if the drug was in the child's system. Martinez tested positive for marijuana along with testing positive for cocaine. CYFD was contacted and a report has been filed. Jesus Antonio Rodriguez Bermudez, an illegal, faces federal charges after being arrested by U.S. Border Patrol agents for allegedly attempting to smuggle 2 undocumented children through to Mexico. Agents pulled over Rodriguez Bermudez. After observing suspicious behavior, they conducted a regular traffic stop, and while doing so, they discovered 2 unaccompanied juvenile males hiding under a blanket in the back of the vehicle. The juveniles were brothers aged 7 and 9. When questioned by the agents, Rodriguez Bermudez admitted to transporting the juveniles from El Paso to Albuquerque as part of a smuggling scheme. He remains in custody with a pending trial and faces up to 10 years in prison. U.S. Border Patrol is currently investigating this case. Federal officials are placing metal barriers along one of the busiest migrant smuggling corridors along the U.S.-Mexico border. About a quarter-mile row of Normandy-style steel X's were installed yesterday on the western slope of Mount Cristo Rey in Sunland Park. The area, for the past several years, has been a choice crossing location for migrants and smugglers because of its steep terrain, lack of roads, and the absence of a border wall. It's also been the site of many medical transports involving migrants who lose their footing and end up at the bottom of ravines. Assaults on Border Patrol agents have also been reported. The U.S. Border Patrol announced they're going to be providing infrastructure and support to Deming to fill a gap at the border wall around 30 miles away from Columbus. Recently, a national emergency order was issued on the southern border to prevent illegal migrants from crossing. About 2 weeks ago, a house in Columbus was raided.
I didn't hear how many people they found, but they did do a raid on a house here, a stash house, and took some people out.
Columbus Mayor Philip Skinner speaking with KOAT.
We know it happens. We see some evidence of it, but it's very little here. We're pretty remote. We don't have infrastructure to support immigrants. There's no services here for them. So I don't see that happening here.
Crews were seen coming in and out of a dirt road near that gap. Border Patrol says they're seeing off-road smuggling and have placed vehicle barriers to prevent it. Sports and weather are coming up next. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
They are role models and educators. Their work requires a great deal of time and energy for very little pay. Who are these unsung heroes?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
The simple truth about education-based athletics in New Mexico is this. Without a committed team of coaches and administrators, that just wouldn't be possible. School sports, they bring out the best in all of us. This message presented by the New Mexico Activities Association and the New Mexico Athletic Directors Association.
There are 43 games for New Mexico girls basketball today, including Corona Vaughn at Hondo, and Centennial comes to Alamogordo. Go, Lady Tigers! There are 40 games for New Mexico varsity basketball today, including Corona Vaughn at Hondo, and Alamogordo heads to Centennial. Go, Tigers! Your Crazy Radio spot-on weather forecast for the Tularosa Basin today calls for sunny skies, winds gusting up to 15 miles per hour. Mostly clear tonight, sunny tomorrow, winds gusting up to 14. Your high today in the basin, 74, low tonight of 44. High tomorrow, 75 degrees. In Cloudcroft, sunny skies today, winds gusting up to 29 miles per hour. Mostly clear tonight, winds gusting up to 25. Sunny tomorrow, winds gusting up to 31. Your high today in Cloudcroft, 55, low tonight of 38. Wind chill's going to make it feel like it's 30. High tomorrow, 57 degrees. Local breaking news can be found on our website, alamogordotownnews.org, and learn more about Crazy Radio by visiting kalhradio.org. Also, check out the Crazy KALH Radio YouTube channel. That's where we post our daily newscasts, complete interviews, and other information which concerns everyone in the Tularosa Basin. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel if you've not done so already. That way you too can remain informed of the goings-on in the Tularosa Basin. And that concludes today's edition of Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.